Hi folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Talisman, the Disney Kingdom Hearts edition. Now the object of this game is you're going to try to get the most amount of victory points, and there's several different ways you can get victory points. The main way is sealing the door to darkness. So let's take a look at it. Okay, so this review is going to be rather simplistic. I'm mainly going to just be showing you the different cards, how they work, and the board, and also just kind of the way the game works. So here's a typical character card. I'm going to just be using Goofy here. First thing it's going to do is going to tell you where to start on the board, which is Disney Castle. Also is going to list some special abilities right over here that the characters will have. And then it's also going to tell you how much of each of these to put here on this counter over here. For Goofy, it's 2 strength, 3 magic, 4 health, and then he'll get 3 fate tokens over here. Now, the fate tokens are mainly going to be used in battle, and you're going to be using these to re-roll the dice if you don't like your die roll. Now, everybody's going to be starting with what's called money, and this is going to be used to buy different objects from the store or the shop. Now, there's also a section where it says followers and objects, and you're going to be placing these in these sections of the card right over here. Right here, we have the green cards, and these are going to be different items that you can get. And the stores, you're going to go ahead and put 8 of these out. Now, you're going to have an opportunity to go visit the store as you play the game, and you pick up different cards that will allow you to go to the store and then purchase these cards. And whenever you get these cards, you're simply just going to follow the text on them and just follow what it says. Now, as you look at the board, Goofy's going to be starting over here in Disney Castle. You've got several different types of spaces. One space that you have is just going to have a location on there, and then it's going to tell you how many of these cards you're going to be drawing. So if I were to like roll the die and land on the library, I would go ahead and draw a card. This is going to be an encounter. Right here, this is a magical object, so I will simply just pick this up and place it underneath Goofy. And essentially, that's going to end my turn. Now, there's several different types of cards that can show up in this. There'll be some good guys. Here's the Genie. This one says, place an Agrabah. Genie will grant one of the following wishes and vanish to the discard pile. And so these types of cards, you're just going to go ahead and just place in the space, and the Agrabah would be right over here. There's another one here, Simba. Again, you're just simply going to follow what the text says. There's also what's going to be called followers in the game, and the followers are going to be placed on the left side of the card. And followers are going to help you as well with different abilities. This one will help you to get an item. You also will have enemies that you'll have to deal with, and I'll talk about that later. This is going to tell you how strong they are, and plus whether they are going to be fighting with strength or magic. And I'll talk about how that works here in a little bit. We also got money cards here. This one you can exchange for money. But as you can see, there are many different types of cards in this game. There's a big stack. You also have what are called Keyblade cards, and you're going to be needing a Keyblade card in order to open the door that is going to allow the game to end, the door to darkness, as it says. And these are the different key cards that the game comes with. And these are the spell cards. Again, you're going to be earning these throughout the game. There are some characters that will start with spells, some characters that will start with objects. But again, once you get these cards, you're going to be able to use these anytime you are fighting an enemy that uses magic. Now on the game board, you've got 3 different sections. You've got the outer section, the middle section, and then the inner section. There's different ways you're going to be able to get into these sections. One way is like using the corridor of darkness over here. You'd have to pay a cost, but you can use that to get into there. Also, you can go through these paths. With this particular one, you're going to have to do the Battle of 1,000 Heartless, which means you're going to have to battle a Heartless with a strength of 9 and beat him in order to get over here. And the same goes with the intersection. You can enter through here. And once you get over here, you're going to have to move 1 space at a time without rolling the dice. And you're going to have to simply resolve all these different texts that are on the different spaces. So some of these, you'll just simply draw a card, and then it could be a battle. It could be a gift. Other cards here are going to have text on them. This one says, if there are no cards here at the end of the turn, you may gain either 1 strength or 1 heart. There's some that will allow you to do die rolls, and you'll just simply follow the text on what you'll get from Agrabah, for example. Now to move, you're simply going to roll the die, and you're going to have, and you'll simply go that amount of spaces, and you can go in either direction. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you end up going to an entrance in here, say you roll the 3, and let's just say you end up beating the Heartless, you would go ahead and complete your movement to the next section. So if you happen to be in a space that happens to have another character in there, one of the things you can do is you can propose trades. You can trade money, you can trade objects, you can trade followers, and you can also trade fate tokens. So let's just say I land over here at Wonderland, and I go ahead and turn up this card, and this is an Air Soldier Heartless. Now this is an enemy, And this one says it will remain here until it's defeated, and it'll have its power and strength. Now, if you look at the counter, as you know, you're going to have strength and magic and health. With this particular enemy, you're going to need strength to fight him. So right now, Goofy has 2 strength, so he's going to have that 2 strength. And then he's also going to go ahead and roll the die here to add to his strength. So if I rolled, that would be 4 strength. But let's just say I had 6, and that would be 8. The Heartless starts with 4, so someone will roll for the Heartless. Let's just say he rolls a 6. That would be 10, so the Heartless will have ended up winning the battle. Now, if it was the other way around, and Goofy in this case won the battle, he will go ahead and take this card and place it into his treasure pile, so to speak. If he ended up losing the fight, he's going to go ahead and lose 1 health. So what you can do with these trophy cards at the end of your turn, you can turn them in, and for every 5 points that the enemy has, you can gain either 1 strength or 1 magic, depending on what type of enemy it is. Also, if you happen to be having to battle an enemy and there happens to be another character in there, you can actually ask for aid. And what will happen is the character will give up to 3 of his strength or magic, and will add it to your attack total. Now, depending on if you have any objects, here's an object card. This will add 1 each to your strength and to your magic. So if you have this card as an object, you can go ahead and apply this, and this will add more to your dice rolls. And again, depending on the enemy, you're either going to be fighting an enemy with magic or strength, and you're just going to fight him with the same things. Now, you can have up to 4 of these cards in your possession to use, and any more than that, you're going to need to get an accessory pack, which you can get by playing the game and getting different cards. Now, whenever you're fighting an enemy, you're only going to be able to use 1 of the weapons that you have in your possession. Now, spells work a little bit differently. You can use more than 1 spell on the enemies here, but it's going to depend on how much magic you have. Right now, Goofy has 3 magic, so he would be able to use a maximum of 1 spell. But if he had more, he could use more spells against the enemy. And the type of enemy he would be fighting would be an enemy that uses spells. Now, anytime you're playing this game, you'll see these cards. If there's already cards that have been drawn, you'll just simply subtract that amount from this. So if there was a card here, you would only draw 1 card. Now, in the game, you can actually also become a Heartless. If you end up becoming a Heartless, it's going to be for 3 turns. And essentially, you're going to only have 1 magic, 1 strength, and only be able to move 1 space per turn. But after 3 turns, you will go and return back to your normal self. Now, if somebody ends up reaching the door to darkness and has the key card, what they're going to do is they're going to roll the die to seal it and gain victory points equal to the die roll. Once the door is sealed, the game is over, and the player with the most victory points is going to win. And right here is going to be the scoring conditions that you're going to use in the game, and the player that ends up getting the most amount of points is going to win. Well, first of all, I think the components and the board and the cards and the artwork are really nice. It definitely fits the Disney Kingdom Hearts theme for sure. You've got several different Disney characters. You've got different Heartless people. You've got all the different followers in the game, like Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and Disney characters like that. So this game is dripping with theme for sure. I would say this game is probably more on the middle as far as difficulty. It's not too easy to where it feels like a kid's game, but it's not too difficult to where it feels like it's a game like, say, Access to Allies. It's like somewhere in the middle. Main reason is that basically you're mainly going to be following like the instructions that are on the cards and on the board. And you're also going to have some choices as to what you want to do. So now a lot of what you're going to be doing is you're just going to be moving around space to space. You have options there as well as to what you want to do. And so there's a lot of cool little things going on in this game. It's kind of like it's an adventure game for sure. As far as like drawing those cards and putting them on the board, you just never know what you're going to get. You can get an enemy, you can get somebody that can help you, can get an object. So I think anybody that enjoys adventure games and anybody that enjoys Disney should definitely check this game out. It's not a difficult game to learn. It has a little bit of a learning curve, but not too much. I found this game to be enjoyable. All right, guys, that's my review of Disney Kingdom Hearts. We'll catch you later.